Hi Excel lovers, my name is Lenny Wu. In this tutorial, I'm going to continue the 10 modeling best practices. And this part is part 2. Now let's start. Second pair of do's and don'ts is related to formula column. It says, do not use different formulas in the same column. Why? Because it's very difficult to copy down the formulas and maintain down the road. On the contrary, do you use the same formula in the same column? So how to do that? You can use conditional formula such as if, or use proper mapping, or use the dynamic formula such as GETPIVOTDATA. Now let's see the example in Excel. In the Excel model, we can see two tables. The process is to use the pivot table which generated from the previous WIP and AR balance data and pull that data into the second table which has a different specified order of location. As it noted here, it says to display WIP and AR in the specified order, because this order is different from the order in the pivot table. Well, apparently the model builder does not know that you can quickly rearrange each row of the pivot table, like click that cell, California, move your mouse to the edge of the cell, and you can see this 4 arrows to each individual directions, and drag and drop to any order that you want. So when you refresh the pivot table, that order becomes the specified order. So you do not need a second table to rearrange these locations. Well, that's a side topic. The real issue is that when you click the cell, for example, for California, you can see it's a GETPIVOTDATA. For those who do not know about this formula, it's very easy. It's given by Excel. When you have a pivot table and you want to link to any cell in that pivot table, for example, for California WIP balance, let's link to the cell H6. Simply type in equal in that cell and click this H6. When you click that, Excel will automatically give you a signed formula saying GETPIVOTDATA amount, which equals to G3. G3 represents this pivot table, and office equals California, category equals WIP balance. That will give you this cell H6. Well, the problem with this setup is when you have different formulas in the same column, when one cell, for example, is deleted accidentally and someone tried to fix it, all you need is to copy the formula down. But in this case, it will give you the wrong number for California instead of for Florida. So how to solve this issue? Control Z, let's go back. What we need to do is to make this formula dynamic so that when you copy it down or to the right, it will still give you the correct number. So how to do that? Let me show you a trick, especially for GETPIVOTDATA. Recall that we have a state name or location name. Here, let's press delete and use a link to link to this location name or state name, and lock the column and not the row, so that when you drag it to the right, it still refers to column K. But when you drag it down, it can refer to next row because the row is not locked. And then category WIP balance. Let's use the column header instead of the WIP balance. Let's click L4 and press F4 to lock the rows, because when you drag it down, it will still refer to the same row, but when you drag to the right, it will refers to the new column. Press enter. Now we get a reference error. Why? Because the column header is still with sum of WIP balance, We need to remove the two words sum of in order to match the column header of the pivot table with balance. And also need to change this sum of AR outstanding to AR outstanding. Let's delete the sum of. And check this out. Once we got this dynamic formula, drag and drop this formula down. And you can see all the numbers does not change, and also to the right. Nothing changed. But when you click each cell, these cells has the same formulas. So by doing this, suppose someone accidentally delete a formula, all you need to do is simply drag any formula to the right or drag it down. Mission accomplished. It's that easy. Alright, to sum up, we need to use the same formula in the same column by using conditional formula, proper mapping, or dynamic formula. That's all for this Excel modeling do's and don'ts part 2. Please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos on Excel modeling. Happy learning!